So hi everyone, I am Fideline V. Francisco. So today we will discuss about the chapter 3 part 4, the adventure of Odysseus. So together with my colleague Janeline Galarga. So it talks about the story of Odysseus, the agreement of Athena and Poseidon to destroy the Greeks, and also it talks about the Nausicaa and Telemachus visit to Menelaus. So let's start. So the first one is Athena and Poseidon had been the Greek greatest allies among the gods, but when fell all that had changed. So Greeks and the gods became enemies. So the Greek went mad. The night they entered the city, then they forgot about the gods and they were terribly punished. So the next one is Cassandra, one of Priam's daughter, was a prophetess. Apollo loved her and given her the power to foretell the future, but she refused her love. So Apollo against her, and Apollo could take back the gift that he gave to Cassandra. So she did is to like no one will believe to Cassandra whatever she tells, because Cassandra's fate is to tell what was the disaster to come, and also she can see the future. So the next one is Cassandra is in the temple of Athena, so under the goddess protection. Then the Greek found her and they dared violent hands on her with Ajax. So Ajax, who was dead but a chieftain. So Ajax tore Cassandra and dragged her. So when Athena know that, Athena got mad, and then Athena go to Poseidon. So the next one is Athena went to Poseidon to ask for a help to destroy the Greeks, and Poseidon agreed. So that's the beginning of the Trojan War. So she said to Poseidon, "Give the Greeks a bitter homecoming, stir up your water with whirlwindy when they sail. So let them men choke the bays and line the shores and reefs." That's it. So Troy was a heap of ashes. So in the failure of Thames, which struck the Greeks after they left for the Greece, Agamemnon came near to losing all his ships. So Menelaus was blown to Egypt, and the arch-sinner Scarlagus Ajax was thrown. So it happened because of Poseidon to vanish them. So Ajax fell, and waves swept him away to his death. Became Poseidon, broken him to the rock. So that's it. Why the Troy rather vanished because of what Poseidon do, or I mean did rather. So that but not all people died there in what Poseidon did. Still some survived, and that is Odysseus. So Odysseus did not lose his life. 20 years had passed since Odysseus sailed for his Troy. Then Ithaca, his home island. So things had gone from bad to worse. Everyone took it for granted that he was dead, except Penelope, his wife, and his son Telemachus. So all people think that he was dead, and Penelope is widowed, and they think should marry again. So some men go to the house of Odysseus to court to court Penelope, but Penelope refused because his love still for Odysseus. So Penelope and his son desisted the men that courting to her, and give them a good reason that she's still not totally move on, that his husband is dead. So yeah, that's it. So give So they won't stop until Penelope said that she will marry one of them, but the chick failed. Penelope said that, yeah, you know, that she will marry one of the men, but the chick failed, and that's it. Then the next one is Athena had been angrily at all Greek because of what they did to Cassandra, but during the Trojan War, so she had especially favored to Odysseus. So that was before, but now the anger of Athena was gone. Next one, 10 years later, long time for anger to last. So the god has by now grown sorry for Odysseus. Even Athena and Poseidon was sorriest of all. So Athena wanted to put an end to his suffering and bring him home. So Athena had planned to meet Telemuchus. So Telemuchus, you know guys, the son of Odysseus. So then advised him strongly to try find out something about his father's fate. So yeah, that's the plan of, you know, Athena. So the man most likely to be able to give news to Telemuchus were Nestor and Menelaus. So Athena leave Telemuchus full of ardor and amazement, or a decision to know where his father. So the next one is Telemuchus went far away along the seashore, and as he walked way to Athena, so Athena promised him to give him a ship that fast. Then the night, Telemuchus prudently waited until the night. So he went down to the ship. So when the people are all asleep, so that's the start of plan of Athena and his plan to go somewhere to find his father. So they drew in Sparta. So a prince welcome awaited them. So that's the Menelaus. So gave them a courteous greeting and bathed. So Menelaus feed them, greet them, and welcome them to their place. So Telemuchus was happy. Then just came an distraction. So Helen came down from her fragrant chamber. So Helen was a beautiful woman. So the next one is Helen recognized Telemuchus from his likeness to his father. So Helen called Nestor, then asked about Telemuchus, and Nestor answered Helen that the man is Telemuchus is the son of Odysseus. So the next one, Telemuchus talked about his father and asked Menelaus if he could give him any news about him. So Menelaus answered. So it's a long story. Then Menelaus talked about it. So meantime, Hermes had gone. So let's move on to the next. Meantime, Hermes had gone to the carry Leus command to Calypso. So Calypso gloomily said about the preparation to Odysseus. So who was first inclined to think it all trick on her part to do something. So many happened to Odysseus. So that's the decision of Zeus to command Calypso. So while the journey, then suddenly Poseidon, on his way back from Ethiopia, he gave another long journey to Odysseus before he reaches the land. So then Odysseus almost died but still survived. Then he met a kind goddess. So it is Ino. So Ino is the slim uncle's once been a Theban princess. So he had a prince rather. So he helped Odysseus and he just listened to the advice of Ino. So Odysseus survived in the journey that Poseidon gave. So he was strong man and a hero and a man of great resourcefulness. So before Odysseus come to the land, Poseidon gave him a long journey. So, but still, Odysseus survived on the journey that Poseidon gave to him. So, the next one is the country of Phaeacians were a kind people and splendid sailors. So, their king is Alcinous, and his wife is Acrid. So, Alcinous was a good man and sensible. So, meanwhile, Acrid was a great deal wiser. So, their daughter is Nausicaa. So, that's the part of Nausicaa. So here in Nausicaa, so Nausicaa and the other girls saw Odysseus. So naked, so she bring Odysseus to their place, and Odysseus cleaned himself. So the king quickly raised him and give food. In the place of our country of Phaeacian, people was very kind. So that's why Nausicaa helped Odysseus to clean himself, to feed him. So that's why Nausicaa and Odysseus meet. So in the morning, Odysseus slept. So I'm done with my part. So Miss Jeneline will continue about the adventure of Odysseus. So that would be all. Thank you.
Pleasant afternoon to each and everyone. I am Jeneline Gallarde, and I will be discussing the continuation of Fridolин's report, which is the adventures of Odysseus. So let's start with the first bullet. Odysseus and his crew land on the island of Laestrygons and are attacked by the cannibals. So Odysseus and his crew encountered fierce tribes of cannibals, the Laestrygons, who attack and destroy most of their ships. The second bullet, they arrive at Aea, where the witch Circe turns Odysseus' men into swine. So the next bullet is one crew member escapes and informs Odysseus about Circe's magic. So one crew member escapes Circe and warns Odysseus about her powers. So the next one, Hermes provides Odysseus with a protective herb against Circe's magic. So the god Hermes provides Odysseus with a magical herb to protect him from Circe's enchantment. The next one, Odysseus confronts Circe, uses the herb and forces her to return his men to human form. So Odysseus confronts Circe and compels her to revert his men to their human forms. So the next one is Circe falls in love with Odysseus and holds him and his men for a year. So after his victory, Circe falls in love with Odysseus and they stay on the island for a year. So next one, they need to consult the prophet Tiresias in the underworld for guidance home. So to find a way home, Odysseus must consult the prophet Tiresias first in the underworld. The next bullet, Odysseus draws his sword to keep the spirit away while consulting Tiresias. So while in the underworld, Odysseus draws his sword to protect himself from the spirit of the dead. Next, Tiresias warns Odysseus about the sirens and advises him to tie himself to the mast of his ship. So Tiresias warns Odysseus about the sirens, advising him to tie himself to the mast to resist their alluring song. Next one, Odysseus and his crew sail past the sirens successfully. Odysseus successfully navigates past by the sirens following Tiresias' advice. So the next one, they face the sea monster Scala and Charybdis. They confront the monstrous sea creatures Scylla and Charybdis, narrowly escaping the disaster. So in the next bullet, On the island of the sun, Odysseus' crew disobeys and eats the sacred cattle. So on the island of the sun, Odysseus' crew disobeys and eats the sacred cattle. So in the island of the sun, Odysseus' crew disobeys orders and eats the sacred cattle. The next one, Zeus punishes them by sending a storm that destroys their ship. So as a punishment of their actions, Zeus sends a storm that destroy their ships. So the next one is Odysseus washes ashore on Calypso's island and is held captive for 7 years. Odysseus washes ashore in the island of Calypso, where he is held captive for 7 years. So the next one is Athena helps Odysseus escape from Calypso. So the goddess Athena helps Odysseus escape from Calypso's grasp. So the next bullet, he reaches the Phaeacia, where he is welcomed by the king. Next one is Athena reveals to Odysseus that he is home in Ithaca and helps him plan in his return. So Odysseus that he is finally home in Ithaca and assists him in planning his strategy against the suitors. The next one, disguised as a beggar, Odysseus reunites with his son Telemachus. So his son is Telemachus, and his son is the one who helps him in his plans. So the next bullet, Odysseus' dog Argos recognizing him after 20 years, but is too weak to move. So Odysseus, the loyal dog, recognizes him after the 20 years of absence, but is too old and weak to greet him properly. So next bullet, Penelope speaks with the disguised Odysseus and shares her grief over his absence. Penelope, unaware of the beggar's true identity, shares her sorrow over Odysseus' long absence. So the nurse Euryclea recognizes Odysseus by a scar on his foot, but is instructed to keep it secret. The next bullet, Penelope devises a contest using Odysseus' vow to choose a suitor, knowing only Odysseus can string it. So the next bullet, none of the suitors can string the bow, and Odysseus does so easily. So Odysseus effortlessly strings the bow and reveals his identity, confronting the suitors. Next bullet, Odysseus reveals his identity and kills the suitors. So he kills all the suitors who have been courting Penelope, showing no mercy to them or their allies. So the next bullet, these suitors praise and Vard beg for mercy, but Odysseus shows none. Next bullet, Euryclea prepares the palace for Odysseus' return. So Euryclea cleanses the palace of Odysseus for Odysseus' return. Next, Penelope is initially hesitant to believe Odysseus has returned, but is convinced by this scar. So initially doubtful, Penelope is convinced of Odysseus' identity when Euryclea shows her the scar. The next one is Penelope and Odysseus are joyfully reunited after 20 years. So they joyously reunite after 20 years apart. Then the last one is the palace celebrates Odysseus' return with the music and dancing. So the place fills with joy because of the music and dance they plan to do, and to celebrate the Odysseus' long-awaited return home. So Homer's Odyssey is more than just a tale of adventure. It is a profound exploration of the human condition, weaving together themes of resilience, cunning, and the enduring power of homecoming. Odysseus, a 10-year journey from Troy to Ithaca, is a testament to his unwavering spirit and his ability to navigate seemingly insurmountable obstacles. So the epic unfolds not as a linear progression but as a series of interconnected trials that test his physical and mental fortitude, ultimately shaping him into a more complex and nuanced character. The early stages of Odysseus' journey highlight his reliance on intelligence and strategic thinking. His encounter with the cannibalistic Laestrygonians underscores the unpredictable nature of his voyage, while his confrontation with Circe showcases his cunning. So by utilizing the molly herb gifted by Hermes, Odysseus subverts Circe's magic, demonstrating his ability to outwit even the most powerful of adversaries. So this pattern of strategic thinking continues as he successfully navigates the perilous straits of Aeschyla and Charybdis, a feat achieved not through brute force but through careful calculation and acceptance of unavoidable losses. So the episode with the Syrians further emphasizes this reliance on intellect over impulse, his self-imposed restraint. So achieved by trying himself to the mass, showcases his self-awareness and his capacity for self-control in the face of overwhelming temptation. Summary: the final leg of Odysseus' journey focuses on his homecoming and the challenges of reclaiming his rightful place in Ithaca. His disguise as a beggar allows him to observe the state of his kingdom and the moral decay that has taken root in his absence. So, the recognition by his faithful dog, Argus, serves as a poignant reminder of his past and the enduring loyalty of those who await his return. So, the climactic confrontation with the suitors resolved through the skillful use of his bow and arrow represent the culmination of his journey. A final test of his strength and cunning, the slaughter of the suitors, thought brutal, is presented as a necessary act of restoration, reclaiming his position as the rightful king and forging the corruption that has infected his household. So that's all the adventures of Odysseus, and I hope that you have learned something new today. And bye-bye.